So while Richard lays asleep and his face muscles slowly forget how to smile, an MC holds on to temporary shine beneath the broken light, and the wandering freshman drinks to the weekend. Pacing against the pavement with a pair of scuffed Asics, caught in between what it means to dress low maintenance and not give a fuck as a fashion statement. He's just another unsure thing shooting to make it with the accuracy of an unsafe bet. And it's not that he's a good apple gone bad, or a Boy Scout who took the wrong route in a divine quest. He just lost his faith when he found more gain in a blind guess. Wandering crowded houses, beer-soaked carpets and couches, reaching for the bottom of the bottle, feeding him reason to tip his head back and holler, "That hurricane couldn't take my dad because I never had a father." At the speed of anxiety, his time is too fast to be contained by the weekend, so he measures it out by what he'd like to forget until he's drunk enough to scream it. Now, I don't know whether that is or isn't helpful, but you can tell the audience is only there for the beer special. The MC still carries what little temporary shine he can beneath the broken light, squeezing his lungs onto an open mic, running on a gram of sanity in small portion of sorts since his hip-hop became nothing but heated egos burned down to mild and short-lived. Discontent in a city cold and dry where people offer peace treaties only with hopes to fight. Sold unhyped like malt liquor at a thrift store, and they forgot what they're raising their fists for. But he's not convinced. Moving at the speed of resistance, his time is too fast to be contained by days, so he measures it out by words memorized from a page. And then there's Richard, standing over 50 years old and 6 feet tall, a giant absent-minded genius of a chemical engineer for years, able to define the temperatures between us, calculate the unclear, and invent materials that before him had never appeared. Richard patented that shit, man. So when you buy tape from 3M that's strong enough to tow a car, double as medical gauze, triple as a lady's small t-shirt, and quadruple as an emergency condom, and you're like, sweet Jesus, who is this guy that keeps coming up with this shit? That's Richard, man. And every time I see him, it gets worse. The brain cells in his brain flow backwards, his memories reverse until he's frozen to a standstill for words. The doctors call it frontal temporal dementia. I call it getting tired of being a genius, and any other person would just say he's getting old. And maybe his time is too fast for his brain to keep up, and all he can measure it by is the memories he'll never get back by the time he wakes up. So while Richard lays asleep and his face muscles slowly forget how to smile, I'm soaking up temporary shine beneath the broken light and drinking until Shane Hawley tries to stop me. And if this is supposed to be a love poem, I guess around now I should start making it sound like one. Jenny, I'll hold your hand like Richard does every piece of his mind and brain cell before it loses its life, because you hold on to something with a little more conviction knowing it has to die, and you're beautiful like gravity, which no efforts can defy, and can crease careless smiles sharp enough to cut through 5 layers of pride, and I'm stupid for you. Maybe I need new Asics. Maybe this is good as trying to shout a poem through the surface standing in a basement, and maybe I'm destined to be a letdown like my dad and end up wherever that hurricane went. I was talking to Richard's wife last summer at family camp, and she was telling me how they first met down to the angle his hair held the light, and I'm thinking, wow, Richard must have done something right. She said he forgets things because of his frontal temporal dementia, his genius fatigue. I told her if he ever forgets how to smile, I know a woman named Jenny with a face that could help him remember.